Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Boss Shot Shells, home of the War Chief. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world-famous Andy Shaver.
The War Chief is no joke, ladies and gentlemen. I am telling you right now, as somebody who has ran that in the great northern province of Saskatchewan and Ontario, you need the War Chief in your life.
I don't think, even going back to the lead days, I don't think it was nothing close to this.
It's pretty. I mean, it's vicious stuff for sure. I mean, that's not a sales pitch or anything like that. This stuff really, really works, and I was very impressed with it.
It's a game changer.
Yep.
But and someone asked me or told me not long ago, I said, "Yeah, but the price." I said, "Yeah, but it only takes one shell. Instead of shooting a bird 3 times to kill it,
Right?
You're shooting one time and it's dead. If you hit it, it's dead. There ain't a bunch of cripples; they are dead. It's amazing. It's amazing stuff. It ain't gonna make you a better shot, but if you hit it, it's gonna kill it. So I highly recommend the War Chief. Let's talk about Canada. We really haven't got to do a podcast on our trips that we took this year.
No, we have not.
And let's start with trip number one. Trip number one, me and Andy and Logan Pyatt went and hunted with Kaylin, Connor, and Dirk. And we went to Quill Lake Outfitters in Quill Lake, Saskatchewan. And we hunted, and it was an absolutely amazing time. It was the hardest place I've ever been to in my life to get to, though.
Yeah, a lot of travel.
We had to fly from Dallas to Atlanta on Delta, which was a good, comfortable ride. Highly recommend Delta because they've got the TV screens in every seat. You just plug your deal in and you got free movies. It makes your flight go by faster. From Atlanta, we were blessed enough to get a fly on WestJet, which is Spirit of Canada, which means it's a piece of shit. And we flew to Winnipeg from Atlanta on an airplane that had the heater going, I think, the whole time. It was hotter than hell.
It was awful.
Then we got to Winnipeg and we had some poutine.
Poutine,
whatever you want to call it.
I prefer to call it the proper word.
How would you rate
French fries?
How would you rate the poutine in Saskatchewan compared to Ontario?
It's not even in the same ballpark. Evidently, poutine was invented in Ontario, in that region that we were in. So we got it on the ground. We got it from the inventors, almost as close as we can get.
It was thicker. The gravy was thicker.
Cheese curds were better. Fries were better. The whole experience seemed better in my mind.
Yes. So I recommend the poutine in Ontario over Manitoba or Saskatchewan.
Right.
Now, I was fortunate enough, we had lobster poutine in Maine. And what they did was they had lobster bisque, French fries, cheese curds, and lobster. And it was very tasty.
Right.
Very, very good.
I'm good with that.
So the Americans upgraded the Canadian poutine by adding lobster and lobster bisque to it. It was very good. So anyways, we go from Winnipeg, and then from Winnipeg to Saskatoon, we get to fly on a World War II relic twin prop job.
Yeah, pretty much.
Logan Pyatt tried to steal somebody's luggage there.
He did.
Really funny story. It's all waterfowl hunters. The flight from Winnipeg to Saskatoon, I'm going to guess half the airplane was full of people going waterfowl hunting.
Right.
So we met some gentlemen that listen to the podcast at the airport in Winnipeg and got to talking to them. And Logan's you got to grab your luggage, go through customs, then you put it on a belt and it sticks it on the plane. It's part of the whole thing. Well, Logan did that and going down, and Logan has some other guys. And Logan picked the biggest sumbitch in the whole airport.
He did.
Big old man. And Logan and him ended up having to ride next to each other after Logan tried to steal his luggage. But we got to our the lodge destination. Josh Moore picked us up. He works for Quill Lake Outfitters, and it was a fabulous experience.
It was 5-star the whole way around.
The food, the accommodations were outstanding. The guide staff worked their ass off, hardworking guys. Got to hunt with Dusty Brown, an old friend of mine for 30 years, a great guide. Really enjoyed hunting with Dusty. He worked so well with the camera guys on the thing. Like, there's 5 birds here. We're going to call the shot on them 5, so Rick could get on them 5 birds. Worked out excellent.
Big time professional.
Yes, very, very professional. Great guy. And turned Andy and me into snow goose hunters, maybe.
Well,
that was a good time.
Not in the lower 48, he didn't.
But I would do that again in a heartbeat.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, you're shooting them with eggshell on their head. And I mean, they do a very, very good job of scouting. They do a very good job of managing their fields. And it's just an ungodly amount of snow geese up there. And, top-notch decoys, all running all Dave Smith decoys, and the birds were just. I've never seen snow geese do it like that ever. I mean, I'm still blown away at what I saw.
That was what hunting was like when I first got in the business out here, the Canadas.
Right.
You didn't have to do nothing. I mean, they didn't circle. If they did circle, it was a half-ass circle just to drop right in. But usually they were, waffling from a mile away, and that was racing to get to the decoys.
Yeah.
The safest birds are the ones that land in the decoys.
Always.
Because I always watch that, and I'm like, fuck, just shoot the ones that land. And then here I am catching us doing the same damn thing while we were up there.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you gotta shoot that cherry bird. Always.
I underdressed for the first deal. I had hell with clothes on both Canada trips. The first trip I underdressed. I looked at the forecast and it said high 54, lows 41. I can take my shin gear bibs, some hoodies. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't account for 25-mile-an-hour winds.
No. It was chilly that first trip.
Whew, it was cold every day. I took a hot shower and couldn't even get warmed up the second day. Then the first afternoon was the most comfortable hunt I've ever hunted in my entire life.
Right.
We hunted in layout blinds, and I got to be in the sun, so I got to thaw out my spine a little bit. But we kind of set up on an embankment.
Mm-hmm.
It was the most comfortable blind, and it was a layout blind. And I've never been in a layout blind that was comfortable. It was comfortable, and we shot triple digits.
Yeah. Which I did not think was possible. I'll be the first to say. I did not think that it was like when Josh Moore was telling me, like getting ready to go to this trip, like, yeah, we're shooting 100 here and, 50 here and 100, 100 in the afternoon, 50 in the morning. I was like, yeah, whatever. Cause I know how my luck goes. Like I'm the cooler anywhere I go. So, I was like, I'm sure y'all are doing that, but it ain't gonna happen when I'm there. Boy, was I wrong.
The first morning we shot 30 geese and 40 ducks.
Right.
And I'm thinking, hell, that's a hell of a hunt. We were allowed to shoot 120 snow geese the afternoon is what we had left that we could shoot.
Right.
I can't remember what we killed in the morning. We killed a lot more ducks in the morning than the afternoon, but we were allowed to kill 120 geese, I think, in the afternoons, of the light geese.
Yeah.
And we killed 111 in the afternoon. And the guides, it's a competition. And they wanted to beat Josh Moore. So
figure.
We were like, well, we killed 50 this morning. He goes,
everybody wants to beat Josh Moore.
So the first flock, we knocked out like 10 or 12 birds. The next one, it was 7 or 8. And then it was 10 or 12. And then 10 or 12. And then we do a count, and we're like at 62 birds. He's like, well, we beat Josh already. He goes, I want 100.
Right.
And we had 100. And we were done soon enough that we drove back to the lodge, which was 20 minutes away. And it was still daylight when we got to the lodge.
It's an incredible place. I mean, there's no doubt about it that this is a premier location. The lodge is incredible, and the guide staff, they work hard enough. They work hard, and you can't discount any of that goes on there. But it's a top notch place for sure.
The customer service was impeccable. The lodging, like you said, is absolutely amazing. They had a bar in there that was 120 years old. Is that right?
I can't remember, but yeah, it's something old. I don't know where they got it from, but yeah.
A beautiful bar. I highly recommend them. It's Quill Lake Outfitters. And it's if you want to go on a top-notch destination, and it's pricey, but it's well worth it. They pick you up at the airport. They have your license for you.
Everything's taken care of. You don't have to worry about anything.
It was
just show up and pull the trigger.
Top-notch. We had our own house that was our lodge, basically, and they had whoever's their snack buyer is a professional snacker.
Yeah, there's snacks in the room. There's a bar. You got liquor and beer in your room, and everything's taken care of. It's a top notch place for sure. It's 5-star. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So, I loved it.
It was a great place.
I have figured out in my journeys. I am a great client. I have got that mastered.
How is that?
Oh, I just you show up. You don't really do much. You have your hands in your pocket a lot. You kind of
we helped pick up.
You criticize the way the guide, set the decoy spread, and when the first flock doesn't do it, you start asking questions, and then you pull the trigger a little bit, and
you did move the decoys one.
The birds, you could have shot at some birds, and then you're like, well, why didn't we shoot at those? I have got the guide, I have got the client life down for sure.
What would you do if a guide went and moved your decoys?
fuck, I don't care.
You don't care.
Fuck no.
Okay, you remember that 'cause someone's gonna do that this year.
I'm past that.
He moved the decoys on Josh Moore, and Josh like
To be
"You did."
funny.
Yes, it was a joke.
Yeah, it was a joke. I wasn't doing it mean spirited. But yeah, I in my next life I will come back as a client for sure. I've got that mastered. Boy, we should have shot those birds right there, guys.
I don't remember
Why
any
didn't we
times.
shoot-
I don't remember very many times we didn't shoot.
There weren't, but when Josh Moore was guiding us and he didn't call the shot on something that we could have, I'm definitely gonna take my opportunity to poke him a little bit.
That was
100%.
that was the first trip. On the way home, me and Andy flew from Winnipeg to Calgary. And folks, if you're Canadian and you're listening to this, I feel sorry for y'all. Because there's not very many true Canadians left. Because when we were in Calgary, I did not know if I was in Bangladesh, Portugal, Brazil, China, Hong Kong, or the Middle East. There's no white Canadians anywhere. They're just natives. Because you know that either were native Indians there or white people. Mm-hmm. There wasn't a motherfucker from China or Bangladesh there. Mm-mm. And that's all you saw. And so the big cities, I would feel very uncomfortable if something bad happened to Canada and I was there. The small towns is just like being in small town America. But man, the big cities are just, they are big cities. And I don't know about all that shit. Anyways, we went from Calgary to Atlanta home, and then we found out, I started dicking around on the computer. We couldn't get a flight to Saskatoon from the United States. You have to go somewhere else first. Found out we could have flown from Calgary to Dallas direct and then taken the puddle jumper. So next year when we go back, we will be flying from Calgary to DFW nonstop and then taking the puddle jumper over.
Yeah.
Calgary is a beautiful city. We didn't see much of it. It was kind of foggy and rainy, but it was right on the edge of the mountains. I'd like to go to Banff. I recommend everyone go to Canada if you've never been. The waterfowl hunting is amazing. And just to see all the birds at different places. We saw so many huge mega feeds everywhere we were. And if you're a snow goose hunter in Arkansas, Missouri, they're up there and they're coming. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah. They had a bumper crop this year.
Now, trip number 2, we went to St. Lawrence River Outfitters in St. Lawrence. Well, it's actually in Cornwall, Ontario. Or what was the other town's name there?
Cornwall,
close enough. Anyways, you can look them up, St. Lawrence Outfitters, with David Roy, but they call that Waugh up there.
Waugh.
Maybe the hardest working man I've ever been around in my entire life in the waterfowl business.
Yes, not even close.
I mean, him and Matt basically run the place.
Yep.
They have an older, I think it's an old hotel they've renovated.
Yeah, it's like an old motel, it looks like.
And the rooms were very comfortable. It was really clean and really nice. And then you ate dinner with David in his living room. He cooked for us at nighttime.
Cooked right in his kitchen and turned on his TV. We watched baseball and drank bourbon and enjoyed really, really good cooking.
I don't know that how you judge and become a Michelin chef.
Right.
But his cooking is as good a cooking as I've ever had anywhere in my entire life.
Yep.
I mean, he is a top-notch guy. And
I still can't wrap my head around how long his days, all of their days have to be. You're up. I think they said coffee was on at 4. So you're doing that. And then you hunt. And then you got to eat lunch. They took us out fishing. And then when we got done fishing, they cooked us dinner. And somebody's got to scout in between here and there. Then you got to get up the next day and do it again. And then the next day, they cooked us the walleye that we caught from the day before. Now, I realize not 7 days a week are like that, but I bet 5 are.
Yeah, he worked his ass off. And
he's been doing it for 20 years.
One of the things that didn't surprise me is I don't get to take naps ever. I'm not a nap taker. During hunting season, I'm busy when everybody goes and takes naps, which is understandable. They get up early, I don't. But I don't take naps. Well, when we go hunting like that in Oklahoma, I used to get to go take a nap when the guides did. And I thought, hell yeah, we'll get a nap time. Both places cheated me out of naps because the naps were like 37 minutes.
Right.
Because when we were in the first trip, we ate lunch. We had a brunch there. They didn't do breakfast. You had brunch. And so we ate, and by 11 o'clock, we were done eating and taking a shower and thought, hell yeah, we're going to do an afternoon duck hunt or goose hunt. We won't go hunting until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Boy, my eyes got shut, and Logan comes, we're leaving in 30 minutes. I'm like, what? He goes, we're leaving in 30 minutes. I said, quit fucking with me. And I closed my eyes. He goes, no, they told me we're leaving in 30 minutes. I was like, what time is it? He goes, 11:45. I was like, son of a bitch. Got up. We got no longer to the field and sat down, and in 15 minutes, we were shooting geese.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Then when we went to the St. Lawrence with David and them, same thing, took a nap, and it's like, we're getting up and leaving to go fishing in 30 minutes. It's like, son of a gun. And we went fishing. And man, I'm going to tell you what, I love the goose hunting, but the fishing on the St. Lawrence River is an experience by itself.
Mm-hmm.
The water is beautiful. The current, you do not realize how much energy is going down that river.
A lot of movement.
It was nuts. But just the most beautiful place I've ever fished in my lifetime. They had shipping locks there. We shot big Canada geese in Ontario, and we got to hunt in standing corn. Probably the easiest hide I've ever had in my entire life.
Right.
You just sat on a bucket or a bench or a chair or whatever they had for you, and you go about 2 rows deep. They cut off the corn right at your eyeball length.
Well, they don't cut it. They just
bend it over.
Yeah.
And then you sit up there and you're shooting the geese right in front of you, and the birds act like they've never seen a decoy in their life there.
It's awesome. I mean, it really is.
We had one goose that would come in that growled. I've never heard a goose make the noises that goose did.
I was telling all the guys about that, and I can't even really describe the way that it sounds. It's a sound that I have never heard, and
Rick's
I've heard
got it on film. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, me too. I was hoping he got it, but I mean, it is a sound like no other. It is wicked. It is a wicked sounding goose.
He's like growling at you,
growling and like peeping, and it's something. I'm ready to hear it again.
Very vocal.
I can't describe the way that it sounded. I mean, I just can't. So
it was the last sounds he made before he died.
That was it.
But he was a very vocal. Food was excellent on that trip. The guides busted their ass. It was great hunting. I highly recommend both places. Both places 5 stars.
Yeah, for sure.
And David and them shoot a lot of black ducks.
Right.
Once it gets cold in November, December.
Yep.
Now I don't know that I want to go hunt off the St. Lawrence River in November, December. It'd be a little chilly.
Yeah.
Now that trip, American Airlines lost my luggage.
Yep.
Me and Andy and Tony went with us on this trip. We flew first class, Dallas to Chicago. We had an hour and 5-minute layover at O'Hare Airport. Pull up to the plane starts pulling off the gate, and they come on and they say, we're having trouble getting the engines to fire up, so we're going to have to pull back in the gate here and have a mechanic take a look at it. So mechanic comes and takes a look at it. Hour and 15 minutes later, we're in there. We have an hour and 5 layover. So I knew we were screwed then. So I'm on the phone looking for a flight, and they didn't have any flights that day. And then I get an update about halfway in. It says, you've been rescheduled for tomorrow. Well, we can't do tomorrow. We're hunting tomorrow.
Tomorrow don't work, people.
So we land in Chicago. We go to the American Airlines deal, and they put us on a United flight to Rochester, New York. We had the opportunity of either flying into Ottawa, Montreal, Syracuse, but United could put us into Rochester. That's where our rental vehicle was. That's where everybody was waiting for us. And so we get on United, and we go from first class on American to middle seat in the back of the plane on United.
And happy to be there.
Yes, very, very happy to be there. Well, we get to Rochester, New York, and I'm over at the rental car deal. I'm signing the papers on the rental car, and I hear Andy laughing over there. And it was that laugh like, ha, 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 ha. And I knew I was fucked then. Looked over at him, and he's smiling, and they're bringing everybody's luggage but Jeff's.
Yep.
So that was on Monday. I got my luggage on Friday. After we'd done hunted, at the airport office, they finally found my luggage and left it in there for me at Rochester. So of all the hunting clothes I took, I packed extra after the first week being cold. Got to there, and I had to go to Tractor Supply, so I am on Team Tractor Supply at this. Tractor Supply Pro Staff is what I am. Mm-hmm. Look like Randy off of Christmas Story, fucking big old overalls.
All you needed was a Michael Myers mask, and you'd have been set and ready to go.
Oh, I'm telling you. But I wasn't cold.
That's all that counts.
So
that's all that counts. Just it's not a fashion show out there, Jeff. Even though I know I may seem like it is a fashion show with as good as I look out there, but it's not. It's not what it's about. It's about comfort and efficiency.
Well,
you don't always have to look good doing it like I do.
Well, Tony had extra pair of shin boots, so I had some shin boots to wear.
Right.
I had some overalls to wear or coveralls to wear, and I got to wear around the lodge and in the airport home some yoga pants, some gray yoga pants, and a gray shin gear hoodie that I was wearing down there. That shin gear hoodie could have stood up by itself time we got home.
Oh no, I hunt way longer in my hoodies down here. You're good. 2 days of hunting.
Well, I understand that. I just don't like wearing the same shit day in and day
These
out.
go weeks, Jeff.
Your mother spoils me. She washes everything.
Weeks I go in this.
As soon as I take something off, it's in the washing
And
machine.
I'm excited about this new Boss hoodie because like it's like a Filson garment. The more you wear it, the more comfortable it's going to get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you look good in it. You need to shave. So you're doing the no shave November the whole time now?
I don't know what I'm going to do, Jeff. I just do it.
Well, it's November 1st. It's tomorrow.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll probably shave again. No need. You don't have to have a beard.
So anyways, we're back to normal stuff at the lodge.
Thank goodness.
Me and Michelle went on vacation the day I got back on a trip, and I'm so glad to be home and not going nowhere for 3 months. Absolutely sick and tired of airports and people.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Ugh. We were in Boston this weekend or last week, whenever the hell we were, and we went and ate at the. We had a drink at the oldest tavern in the United States. It was called the Bell in Hand.
Right.
Little old building. And you start looking at the bar in there, and the bar was from the 1700s. It's crazy the craftsmanship that they have and how it lasts and stuff.
Yes. Yes. We've lost a lot in this country.
And I was looking at the we went to a supper club and ate on Cape Cod one night, and they had the old arches and stuff built in it and the brick and stuff. And you don't see nothing new being built hardly like that anymore.
Can't afford it.
It's probably true. I didn't think of it as the money wise. I just figured it was harder to do, and people don't want to put the time.
It is harder to do. It's harder to do and more labor intensive. So yeah, I mean everything goes in, and it's going to cost more. But yeah, you don't see cathedrals being built like we used to build a long time ago. It just we've lost. There's technology that we've lost, and we might never get it back. Nobody builds anything beautiful anymore.
We went to Quincy Market in Boston. Everybody was telling me, I put on the podcast page, I go, where's a good place to eat lunch at when we landed? I'm going to go eat somewhere, and everybody's like, oh, you need to go to Quincy Market or do this. We went to Quincy Market and ate, and it's a big food court. It was not like, I thought it was going to be like Pike's Market in Seattle, where they had a lot of like locals, vendors and stuff. And I didn't see that. And it was probably local places to eat. And it was good food. By the time we'd left Boston, I was lobstered out anyways. And I had Philly cheesesteak fries. Those were really good.
Yeah.
But I like Boston. Boston is probably my favorite city in the United States. I love the history. They need to make a movie on Paul Revere. I don't understand why no one's made a movie. He's got to be one of the best characters that's ever been in our country, and a hell of a story.
I would make it over the other guy.
Who?
The guy that wrote about 10 times further than Paul Revere.
What all did that guy do?
He was a much. Hold on a second. Jeff.
Well, I can't wait for you to top Paul Revere. Paul Revere done a lot of things besides you just fucking go up to the deal and
I think
put
his
some
name
lanterns.
was Israel Bissell. I think what his name was.
I think that is the name.
Israel Bissell. There we go. Yeah, because they did a whole skit. I've been trying to find this fucking thing for a long time. This was a great video, and I can't remember.
So now, Washington Irving is America's first internationally known author. He has got a worldwide audience, so he wants to write a worldwide bestseller. And what does he come up with? The Life and Voyages of Christopher Columbus. This becomes the biggest hit in American publishing history, at least until Volume 2. Okay, I threw in the Fellowship of the Ships. This becomes the biggest hit in publishing only until Volume 3. Sequels, nothing is new. They had them then, they'll have them forever, okay? But what's more important is that here is where the world is round stories come from. It's not out of fact, it is totally out of his fiction. You know, Napoleon once said, history is a myth men agree to believe. Well, so many people have read this myth that it creates what I like to call the Liberty Valance effect. There is a great old Western, if you haven't seen it, called The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. It stars Jimmy Stewart and John Wayne and was directed by? John Ford. Oh, there you go, John Ford. Only 2 film students came up with that. Shame on you. Shame on you. Orson Welles, when once asked, who are the 3 greatest American directors, replied, John Ford, and John Ford. John Ford has 4 Academy Awards. 4! Not that Academy Awards are the be-all and end-all of everything. I mean, Ben Affleck's got a fucking Oscar, for God's sakes. You know, let's put things in perspective a little bit here. But in this movie, Jimmy Stewart plays a man who rises to become a hero because he's credited with killing the notorious outlaw Liberty Valance. At the end of the movie, however, Jimmy Stewart confesses to his biographer that he really didn't kill Liberty Valance.
Fuck, I don't know if it's going to talk about it. It's not going
The
to.
legend becomes fact.
I was wondering where we were getting with
Where the
this.
fuck? Why did that pop up first?
Robert Wall.
Yeah.
He's great in fucking Hollywood Nights.
Maybe it's this.
Bissell, that's it.
It was in that HBO special. I've been trying to find that HBO special for a while.
Well, you just went past it. It was up there. It just said it.
No, but I don't. Usually the first one is.
This is Israel Bissell versus
But
Paul
how
Revere.
long is it? I don't have forever. I don't have all fucking day.
3 minutes.
That's a long time. He broke it down really good.
Entitlements to a historical poem.
Yeah, I don't know this fucking thing.
His trusted friend that's carried him for years as they reach Worcester.
Okay,
I'm
let's
not listening. I'm not listening to
let's skip this.
kid.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna get at. I don't know much about Israel Bissell. You could probably do Wikipedia and find out his highlights on him. But Paul Revere built Old Ironsides.
Okay.
That alone is historical. Besides the fact that he organized the British are coming, the British are coming. He was supposed to just go up in the North Church and put two lanterns. And he rode and did that to the other towns. I'm not saying he went farther than anyone else did, but he did a lot of other things in history besides just carry some torches. And I think they should do a movie on him. I did see the previews of Napoleon yesterday.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's a pretty good show. Mm-hmm. You're not interested in talking about Napoleon.
I'm trying to read about Israel Bissell.
Just put it up there and I can read it. I read
Well,
fast.
I don't even know if this thing is the article that we're looking for. Like, I just need the fucking cliff notes, Jeff.
Go to Wikipedia Israel Bissell. It's real simple.
There is no Wikipedia for Israel
That's how
Bissell.
unimportant he is.
Nobody gives a shit about him because Paul Revere got all the fucking credit. Poor guy.
Was Israel a black man?
Don't fucking know. Probably not. They didn't like them back in the day.
Oh, they had some black guys that fought. I think the first person to get killed in the American Revolution was a black gentleman.
Although Paul Revere is popular and more widely known by his epic poem from Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, Bissell was the subject of the less well-known Ride Israel Ride. Did not sell very well. You know, you Jewish vacuum cleaner is part of the Robert Wall thing. Bissell exploits that have been noted in magazines. I can't find how fucking far he rode. This is the most frustrating fucking thing.
Well, you're the one that come up and said that he read farther than Paul Revere did.
Bissell was mentioned in Comedians. Robert Wall assumed the position with Mr. Wall. Wall-based Bissell is having left at the same time as Paul Revere. Joked Jewish vacuum cleaner, which was in there. I've got a great memory. Oh, anyway, I don't give a fuck about it. I'm not even gonna fucking look anymore. I'm done.
He rode all the way to Philadelphia.
I'm fucking done. So, there you go.
Yeah, one count said he rode to Hartford, Connecticut. One said he rode all the way to Philadelphia.
I don't care. At this point, fuck it. Paul Revere's better. He's the guy. Great.
And you got a shitty attitude there.
Two lanterns or whatever the fuck they had going on.
Well,
The whole
problem is you young people don't like history.
I love fucking history, but when you can't find it and you've gone through 4 fucking websites, I'm done. I don't give a shit. Paul Revere's the man. Fucking great. 2 lanterns.
Hold on.
Awesome.
Bissell, a 23-year-old postal rider. Well, you moved the fucking thing up on me
Well,
when I started
exactly.
reading it to me.
Trying to find everything. I can't find it.
Go back up again.
Nikola Tesla is somehow into this shit. I don't fucking know.
Bissell, a 23-year-old postal rider when the war broke out, rode day and night with little sleep during an exhausting 345-mile journey from Boston to Philadelphia. On the first leg, he rode one horse so hard that the animal collapsed and died. As he arrived in Worcester. Roughly 2 hours after leaving Watertown, to arms of war has begun, Bissell shouted.
Revere rode 20 miles. Says
Okay,
right there.
There you go.
So there you go.
He rode 17 miles, 17 times further.
They couldn't make a poem that made sense for Israel Bissell, but Paul Revere's ride sounds better. So,
Well, Paul Revere done a lot of stuff other than just ride. He was a Boston hero, a very big man in Boston. A great guy, great historical person. I'd love to see him make a movie about it. I don't have a problem with making a movie about Israel Bissell.
Well,
either.
I think his ride's a little bit more memorable, but Israel's movie should be a little bit longer. It should be like a 3-hour movie.
Paul Revere done more than just ride the horse, is what I was trying to get at.
You don't know. Fucking
Yes, I
Bissell.
do.
How do you know this guy's family didn't make the fucking vacuum cleaner?
You ain't seen shit about him yet.
That's because nobody knows to look
Okay.
until they listen to this podcast. Like, man, that was instructional and informational.
Well, when I get home tonight, I'm gonna look up a book and see if I can't find a book on it so I can read about Robert Bissell.
I doubt it. Jeff, he didn't market himself very well.
I purchased a couple of books on my trip, and one of them I've started reading. It's pretty interesting. It's called White Mass, and it's about Whitey Bulger.
Black Mass.
Is it Black Mass or White Mass?
They made a movie called Black Mass about Whitey Bulger.
Then the book is Black Mass then. But anyways, it's a very interesting book, and I did not realize that his brother was a big-time politician in Massachusetts.
I'm sure, yeah.
You knew that?
I don't know if I knew that, but yeah, I mean, how else do you think he...
It had nothing to do with his brother. He
What do
was
you
the
mean?
older brother. He went the way of crime and stuff.
Right.
His other brother was in the same neighborhood, the same terrible background or home life that they had, basically, in a tough area. Went the route of a good kid, went to law school, and become, I think, a state assemblyman for Massachusetts. Maybe their attorney general.
You can watch the movie and just be done with it.
No, I like reading.
Well, Johnny Depp played a very good character. I'm fucking getting sick. Fucking busiest week of the year, and I'm going to be
It's
sick.
not the busiest week of the year. It's a busy weekend.
It's a busy week leading up.
Oh,
Blinds got to get done. Decoys got to get put together. All those alpha outdoor Stanfield stools got to get done. Like it is not a good week for me to be sick. I don't know what's worse. Me being sick during the week for all that shit, or me being sick this weekend when we got 45 people here. That's what I can't figure out. Is what day?
are you gonna go home and take some medicine? No.
What medicine you got? It's just it's a chest cold. Lot of drainage. Lots of drainage.
Go up to the doctor and get a fucking shot of Kenalog. Dry you up overnight.
I don't want to be dried up. I don't want to. I'm not gonna. How do you know they're gonna not put the COVID vaccine in that? What about the flu shot? I don't want the flu shot either. I don't want
Why
anything.
are they going to give you anything like that? Just
I don't want anything.
Kenalog
I don't want
shot.
anything foreign in my body. Nothing.
Okay, then be sick all
You
week,
get
bitch.
a weak immune system that way.
And then you're trick or treating tonight with kids.
I'm driving. It's a hayride. They're gonna be in the back. It's probably one of those booger pickers that gave it to me. We went to that trampoline park last week. Kids fucking running around
yeah.
everywhere.
I'm glad you brought this up.
We had the fall festival here with snot nosed kids everywhere, touching everything. That's what it was. I cleaned up at the fall festival. I took they did a cakewalk and they had numbers taped to the ground.
And you took them up?
I took them up, and all the fucking germs from people's shoes were on that. There's got to be. How the hell did that survive COVID?
You're like Johnny. You're like fucking Jerry Seinfeld.
There's got to be, Jeff. There's got to be a better way to do a cakewalk than taping numbers to a ground, having everybody with their dirty feet and dirty shoes walk on it, and then I got to go pick it up at the end of the night like a schlub.
What's your answer to that?
Don't do the cakewalk.
So they should do away with cakewalks now.
They should do away.
Just 'cause
Yeah,
you might get a
have it
germ.
all virtual, all online. Play a little bit of music. Everybody logs into their phone like they're accustomed
They're
to. They
kids.
look at
They don't
it.
have phones.
Well, most of it was parents doing the cakewalk. Greedy bastards. Have
Did
them
you
walk-
do it?
No, I didn't do it. I'm not 7. Of course not. I played bingo.
Did you win?
No.
Did anybody in your family win?
No, not at bingo. It was a racket. It was a racket. I changed my card 3 times and not one time. One time I needed one number, and it sat that way for about 10 minutes. I needed B3, and I got every number around it other than B3.
So
Just germs everywhere.
So Reese turned
Now I'm sick.
9, and y'all took him to trampoline park for his birthday, right?
We did.
Okay. Was y'all in Abilene or Wichita Falls?
Wichita Falls, where evidently chest colds are very prevalent, because
Okay.
I've got it.
Hold on just a minute. If you live in Wichita Falls and you've got a 6-year-old daughter that got hit by some old fucking guy playing fucking dodgeball and smoked her in the face,
I didn't smoke her in the
Please contact
face.
Andy Shaver,
I did
please.
not hit her in the face.
Where'd you hit her at?
Right center mass.
Why'd you hit a 6-year-old girl with a dodgeball?
Don't dip your toe into this dodgeball game, lady. It ain't for you. I want that to be clear now. So I hit her, and she turned around and she left.
And you didn't throw it easy, did you?
No.
You were throwing as hard as you could.
Yes. Why would I throw it easy? Listen, life is not fair.
You hit a 6-year-old girl with the fucking
She was
dodgeball.
7 or 8. She was 7 or 8. I'd smoked her. Get out of here. This ain't for you, little girl. Go on and jump on that trampoline. It's much better.
She might end up being president of the United States because we always say the people that got beat at dodgeball are the ones running shit now.
That's right. Yeah, listen.
So you smoked her.
I smoked everybody. I didn't care.
Did you smoke your own kids?
100%. They're the
Andy?
ones I was targeting.
Andy.
What?
You didn't hit Reese one time.
Yes, I did.
He said he stayed on your team the whole
He
time.
tried after I hit him. Anytime I would switch sides, he'd come over.
And then Sunday, y'all come over to the house to eat, and Reese went to another party, and he went to another park. And he comes in, and he'd been playing dodgeball, and he met up with another Andy Shaver, another grown ass man. It's
okay.
And he got smoked in the eyeball.
All right. Head on a swivel, kid. You're here to learn life lessons.
The best thing was, I said, Reese, did you cry? Well, yeah, I cried. He
Of course I
smoked
did.
me.
I got hit in the face. What do you expect me to do? I'm not going to take it easy just because they're smaller than me. Why would I do that? It's not an accurate representation of life. I'm going to throw as hard as I can.
You'd have been a good 70s parent.
Well, hell yeah. If you're done, and then it cut out cheating. Jesse would hit kids, and then she'd have to tell them 3 or 4 times that they were out. You get hit by me, you're gonna know you're out.
They want to get out, huh?
Yeah. And then so that's funny. I would see kids that had gotten hit but stayed in, and then that's who I targeted. You're gonna feel my wrath.
Did any of them throw back at you?
They tried to. I would just catch it, throw it right back at them. You can try to throw it at me if you want. I'm gonna catch it.
You're that guy that's in a comedy that's fucking beating the kids up everybody's making fun of.
It's all right. They need to learn. They're not getting it at school, so they can just get it from me.
You know, when we were gone,
I threw out my shoulder though, so the whole next week,
You paid for it?
I paid for it. My, very sore shoulder. Just not a whole lot of mobility. I did not realize that zinging dodgeballs at little kids was going to put me down for the count, but it did.
I saw a list while we were gone, and I can't remember where. I guess I was in the Boston airport. The 5 best Christmas movies of all times. What do you think's the best Christmas movie of all time?
4 Christmases.
That actually was on the list.
I know it was. I made the list.
You made the list? What else is on the list then?
4 Christmases. You got to put the Christmas Story up there. National Lampoon's Vacation, and then
What about Elf?
I'm not a big fan of Elf. It's okay. I'm sure it's on the list probably.
I don't. The guy that plays in it, what's his name?
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
Yep.
I either love his movies or can't stand them.
Yep.
Like I love Step Brothers.
Yep.
And I loved Old School.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not a fan of like Ron Burgundy. I thought that was dumb as shit.
Yes.
And
first one was okay.
And Talladega Nights, I'm not a fan of.
It's got a lot of one-liners in it, but I get what you mean. Yeah.
But his others, Old School and Step Brothers, were great.
Yeah.
Four
Elf I'm not a fan of, but I understand it's a classic, and I'm in the minority on that.
Four Christmases is freaking great.
Yes.
One of the funniest ones ever.
Yep.
Trying to think. Christmas Vacation and Christmas Story are both good, but they've played so many times that they've just ran it in the fucking ground. And the sad thing is they don't make movies like those anymore hardly at all.
No. I'm sure Home Alone's up there, Die Hard.
See, I don't consider Die Hard a Christmas movie. It
Set around
is.
Christmas.
Well, I understand that. And that's the big debate. Is it a Christmas? And that was one of these things talked about was it named it number 2.
He is totally inaudible now. Did you know that?
He can't speak at all anymore? Mm-mm. That's a shame.
Yep. Totally nonverbal.
What
now.
does he have?
Fuck, I can't remember the exact.
He
name
has
of it.
what Robin Williams was diagnosed with, I think.
Let's see. Aphasia? I don't know. I've never heard that before.
Frontemporal. He's got dementia, basically.
A mid-dementia battle. Yep. Whatever aphasia is. But, I mean, I guess they're holding strong. But I don't know what that front temporal lobe dementia is what he has. Like, can you just not speak? Like, do you know what's going on, I wonder?
I don't know if anybody knows.
But like, is he aware of his surroundings and he just can't get the word out? Because like that would be more frustrating, I would think.
I don't know.
Let's see.
That's too bad.
He's got to be one of the greatest actors ever, right?
I don't know if it's greatest, but he's a great actor. He's been in some great things. I always liked him because he kind of come across as a regular guy's guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like where George Clooney does not.
Right.
Bruce Willis always seemed like one of the kind of guys that you would hang out and have a beer with, would be one of your buddies that made it big. Matthew McConaughey to me comes off that way also, and he may be completely opposite of that.
Yeah.
But Matthew McConaughey seems like a kind of guy that could come to the lodge and come in the office and sit down and visit with us and just be one of the fellas.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt does not give that vibe.
I bet he'd shock you. But they're all actors. I mean, they're all chameleons.
That's exactly
I think that they
right.
can go into any situation and kind of leave making you feel like, like they were one of your best friends. That's why they're so good on screen.
I'll tell you,
You
a guy,
watch them on screen and you feel like you can relate to them. So I think that any actor, most likely, unless they're Daniel Day-Lewis, which is a total fucking weirdo, would be able to come into your office and put on a show for 30 minutes or whatever.
I'm a big fan of this guy's movies and the roles he plays, but I don't think I'd like him at all outside of TV. And that's a guy that was born in Benjamin, Texas, I believe, and that's Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh,
I'm not.
I don't know. I've never seen him much outside.
Well, he's a big Al Gore guy.
Oh.
And so I just that's kind of always pushed me off, anyways.
Yeah.
But I really like the roles he always plays. He always plays really cool roles and seems like a pretty good guy.
Has rendered, Karen told the Post that, are you kidding me? Just as soon as I'm about to read it. Told the Post that FTD has rendered Willis largely unable to communicate, sharing that it's as if he now sees life through a screen door, but he believes Willis is still able to recognize him. My first sense is that the first 1 to 3 minutes, he knows who I am. He's not totally verbal. He used to be a voracious reader. He didn't want to know that. And he's not reading now. All those language skills are no longer available to him.
What a horrible, I mean, I would rather die.
Yeah.
I say that. I don't know. He may be in his mind, know everything, and just happy to be around everybody. I don't know.
Right.
But to me, that would be so frustrating.
When you're with him, you know that he's Bruce and you're grateful that he's there. But what's that word? Joie de vivre is gone,
The joy of life.
I guess.
Yeah, that's French for joy of life.
I didn't know. I only know
You
oui,
didn't
oui.
know I could speak French.
I only know oui, oui. Oh, you speak French now.
I dabble.
It's terrible.
It's a bad deal.
Terrible way to, I don't know if would you rather have your mind go and your body stay, or your body stay and your mind go?
I had a good friend of mine that died about 15 years ago.
I might have just said the same thing.
His mind was perfectly fine, but his guts were all fucked up and he died. He basically was eaten up.
Right.
And but his mind was completely well, but he couldn't get out of bed to do nothing, and I always felt sorry for him. I don't know. I don't want to lose my mind ever, so I guess I would rather be bedridden and have a mind and be able to communicate and talk to people than to have your body can get up and do shit, but you can't do nothing at all. I think dementia has to be one of the worst things you can put onto someone. I can't imagine that life. That's a horrible life. They say that the generations to come up will not have to deal with it like they have, and I don't understand, because we had a younger man here in Knox City die of it. That was,
How do you die of dementia?
the organs and everything just shut down. Some of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I used to think too. Well, it's just your brain. Why is it? But people die from it.
For over 30 years, I played a keyboard.
I want you to listen to this statement. There's no cure for dementia yet. However, with the right care and support, it's possible for someone to live as well as possible for as long as possible. Sounds like fucking something Kamala Harris would say. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's not living.
However, with the right care and support, it's possible for someone to live as long as possible.
For 30 years. That's not like live if you don't know who you are.
No, that's just saying Alzheimer's Society has funded dementia research for over 30 years.
Okay. But there's people that have lived. I think your great-grandfather lived for 5 to 10 years with it. Mm-hmm. Didn't even know who he was. Well, that's not living.
Right. I'm sure it has gone back. You know, you hear of the old. Oh, speaking of that, have you ever heard of the dancing pandemic?
No.
Oh my goodness. This is fucking wild.
The dancing pandemic.
The dancing pandemic. This I follow this the dancing plague, I'm sorry. Historic vids on Twitter. Fascinating stuff. They've been on fucking fire lately.
Historic bids?
Vids.
Oh, videos.
Dancing plague of 1518 began in July when hundreds of people from Strasbourg, now France, were compelled to dance for no reason in a trance-like state for days until they were either lost consciousness or died. It is said that they started when a woman named started dancing outside her home. Her husband tried to stop her, but she continued to dance until nightfall when she collapsed in exhaustion. The next morning, she was up against dancing, bloody, swollen feet. By the third day, she had a small audience. Were drawn to the spectacles. So the city council decided the best way to control this plague was to allow them to dance free of the disease because it was a natural disease, which comes from overheated blood. In order to speed up their recovery, paid dozens of magicians to jump. Anyway, so here's what they think might have happened. Food poisoning by ergot fungi, which is what led to the Salem Witch Trials, which contains a substance.
Hold on. I thought the Salem Witch Trials was a bunch of girls making shit up.
They got ergot poisoning.
The girls did?
I think the whole village did. And like just kind of this mass hysteria fed into one another.
I just read a book on that. And it didn't
While the
talk
fungi,
to
well, of course not. While the fungi can cause hallucinations that did not explain the urge to dance for several days, stress-induced psychosis on a mass scale in 1518, Strasbourg had experienced a string of bad harvests, political instability, and the arrival of syphilis, which, why wouldn't you want to dance? Dancing Plagues was also staged, and the recordings of its bizarre nature were done by people who were unfamiliar. Religious cults may have been acting out of well-organized dance.
Could you imagine having any kind of venereal disease or anything? First of all, I don't want to have the shit now. I've never had it. Knock on wood. Hope I never ever have any of that shit. I shouldn't have to now. But those people, could you imagine back in them days before medicine getting fucking the itchies and the scratchies?
Yeah. Over 30 dancers were in this thing. The plan backfired terribly. And by the end of the month, more than 400 people were swept up in the dance. And at its height, there were an average of 15 people dying a day from dancing, which would have put the death toll in the hundreds.
So basically, they were schizoed out over some kind of food poisoning.
That's a possible theory. Yeah.
So is anybody having this anymore?
No, ergot affects, I think it affects your wheat crop, and it all depends if it's an early or late freeze, one of the two.
Have you seen these zombies in these streets in Philadelphia? Someone's got a page all the time. It shows these meth monsters.
Yeah.
That could have been construed into that from back in the day. I mean, they weren't taking meth back then, but some kind of poisoning.
Right.
Did you see where the mayor of Boston is taking down the meth mile?
No.
There's a neighborhood that's a mile long, I guess. They call it a meth mile. I don't know if it's a half mile, quarter mile, or 3 miles. But anyways, full of people have put tarps and shit up where they can do drugs back there and crime's real bad. Mm-hmm. Democratic mayor come in yesterday and told them to take all that shit up. They're cleaning it up.
Really?
All these big cities now are they're figuring out this defund the police and all this shit ain't working on them.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what San Francisco's tax bases went to now compared to what it was 10 years ago. Their sales tax have had to plummet. I'm
sure, yeah. Okay, here's ergot in the Salem Witch Trial. Ergot is a kind of fungus that forms hallucinogenic drugs in bread. The fungus usually thrives in climates where cold winter conditions are followed by wet springs. The victims of this fungus may suffer from hallucinations, paranoia, spasms, cramps, and cardiovascular issues. It may even severely impact the immune system of people. Ergot is believed to have grown on the staple crop of the townfolk, rye. In this way, the residents of Salem may have consumed the fungus. According to somebody, as ergot was hallucinogenic, it could explain the strange symptoms exhibited by the girls, as well as the general feeling among the townfolk that they were being attacked by witches. The fungus was quite common in Europe and America at the time. It was also common for people, even thought it was part of the plant and were not aware of its dangerous properties. So people were just fucking tripping out in Salem, and they hung a bunch of people. Not only that, I mean, they didn't hang them.
They pressed them with
Had
rocks.
some of the worst deaths imaginable.
Well, one of the things would do is they would put you in a well and throw rocks on top of you. And if you were a witch, you would come out of it.
Right.
If you were not a witch,
Oops.
yep. And there was all oopses because they didn't ever have no witches come out, but they had a lot of oopses.
Yeah. The growing conditions of Salem were perfect for ergot to grow and flourish. During 1691, rainfall and damp conditions would have supported the spread of ergot on the rye. Moreover, the people of Salem were unaware of what ergot was, and the link was never made to contaminated food. That's all it was. Just a big old trip party in the village of Salem.
Well, I've read different stories, and so this thing makes sense from a scientific approach. The one I read said that the girls were trying to just jack with some guy, and it just got worse and worse and worse.
Isn't that what it was in The Crucible or whatever?
I don't know what The Crucible is.
It's a movie about the Salem Witch Trails.
Oh, I didn't watch the movie. I read some stuff on it. I mean, we go every fucking fall to the same place, and we see it all. So it's crazy. We went to that this little Salem village, the old village back then. It's crazy how like the House of Seven Gables that was what's the guy's name? Hawthorne.
Nathaniel
Hawthorne's house. And if you was a 6'3" dude, you're gonna be a hunchback before long.
Right.
All them fucking roofs in them houses are about 6 foot tall because it's cold. Kept the heat in there.
Yeah. Yep. You better have a lot of firewood. Pray that ergot didn't affect your rye, Brad.
That's an interesting deal. We went into a place in Salem last week. We went into a old bank. And they had some kind of wizardry shit and stuff in there, and it was black, and they had satanic shit everywhere. We walked in, I turned and walked right out. And the lady goes, "What's in there?" I said, "Oh, it gave me some bad juju. I left. I didn't like that shit. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you go to Salem the week before Halloween, you go now, there's there's a lot of fucking weirdos. Those Wiccans are fat lesbians.
Yeah.
I think
Trying to conjure up a man that'll dumb enough to sleep with them.
I don't think they're even into men. I think they like other fat chicks with the same haircut I got. I never seen so many fat lesbians in my entire life than I did in Salem.
Well, there it is right there. Famously, Arthur Miller, play The Crucible, blames an intolerant and repressive society and a willful need for attention in the young girls as the cause. However, for a change so sudden and so widespread to affect only a single community requires a more tangible explanation.
Their deal makes sense. But if you want to see some weird fuckers, go to Salem during Halloween. It's a lot of... If you want to see a bunch of very unattractive women with pasty white skin and tattoos that move,
they
it's a
live
place
for
to go.
it, though.
Oh, they got onto it.
They live for this time of year.
We were on a shuttle to the rental car place, and this lady was next to us, and she had 2 daughters, and I'm telling you right now, they were close to pushing 4 biscuits.
Right.
And they had witch shit wrote all over them. They had tattoos on their faces and crap. I mean, they were big-time witch people. And Mom told me, she goes, those people aren't here just for Halloween. She goes, that's their lifestyle.
Right.
And there was a ton of people just like that there. A ton. The streets were full of them. Saw the biggest asshole I've ever seen at a restaurant, too, while we were there.
That's what you said.
Oh, this dude was a total asshole to this waitress, and he got called to the principal's office and basically told to leave.
This was another thing by Historic Vids talking about how lobster was poor people food back in the day because they were so plentiful. People would actually go bury the lobster shells in their backyard so that their neighbors wouldn't talk bad about them. But people, what did it say? Kentucky politician once said lobster shells at a house looked on the sign of poverty. Garbage meat during the colonial era.
I wonder when it become a fancy rich people food then.
In the 19th century, people paid 53 cents a pound for a Boston baked bean and paid just 11 cents a pound for lobster.
Their baked beans are nothing to write home about.
Toward the end of the 19th century, the opinion of lobster began to change. As railroads began to expand across America, the railway companies decided to serve lobster because it was cheap, plentiful, and largely unknown to inland passengers who found it delicious and demanded more. It was during this time that lobster meat was being canned and sold all across the country, which pushed demand even higher. By the 1920s, there were fewer lobsters, yet demand continued to increase. 50s.
Do you like lobster?
I do. I love it. I love it. I don't understand how anybody could get tired of it, but if that's what you're eating every day, I assume you could.
Would you want to eat it 3 days in a row?
I mean, you said you got lobstered out up there.
Yeah, I mean, after about 2 meals of it, it's
Right.
enough. But
Is
it's
it
that
just
way
because it's so rich?
I don't know, but I don't want to eat steak 2-3 nights in a row either. Do you?
Well, I have thought about doing the carnivore diet, so I think I could do steak every night because I have steak quite often.
Well, we don't all roll in the crowd you rode with.
Well,
here,
I mean,
do you?
like we'll do leftover steak, and like I'll do steak and egg for breakfast, and I don't think I get tired of steak. To be honest with you,
I don't mind eating steak. I don't want to eat it every night in a while. Same with lobster.
what do you mean
Couple of
high
days.
roller? If steak is all that you're eating,
Steak's expensive.
well, I mean, when you factor in all the other ingredients to everything else that you're eating.
Okay,
Oh, I'm getting fucking sick.
we'll do this just in common sense. If you do grilled chicken, mashed potatoes, and a salad, you're gonna the chicken's about 4 times less than steak is.
Okay.
So steak is more expensive. That's not the
Then
money.
that entire meal?
It's the sides are the same regardless. The protein's what's expensive.
You
is
don't
steak.
eat as much. Huh? You're not eating as much.
So if you eat a 12-ounce ribeye or
Yeah.
you eat a 8-ounce chicken breast.
I think you can eat chicken too on the carnivore diet.
Anyways, any kind of protein. Lobster, I like lobster, but after a couple of meals, the best thing I ever did lobster, we had Lazy Man's lobster where they bring it and it's already all out of the shell and it costs the same amount of money. I don't know why anybody wouldn't do it that way.
It's the same amount of money?
Same amount of money for
That's
2
stupid.
lobsters. And we ate in Kittery, Maine, and the Lazy Man's lobster in Kittery, Maine was 2 lobsters, and it comes in a little bowl type deal and with butter.
I think people like maybe doing it themselves.
Shit, I don't. Do you?
I haven't eaten enough lobster for it to be a problem.
I don't like cracking them all the time. One time when you were younger and your brothers were young, well, y'all were all younger, we went to Maine and everybody got lobsters. And guess who cracked fucking lobsters for everybody at every meal?
It wasn't me.
No, it was me.
I cracked my own lobster.
I don't believe that shit. Anyways, I crack lobsters all the time. And so I got enough of that deal of cracking 6 lobsters when we sit down to eat.
Yeah.
So I don't want to crack a bunch of lobsters. The Lazy Man lobster is the way to go. Even if it costs $5 more, it would have been worth it.
Right.
But someone knows how to crack lobster. It don't take them a minute to do it. And I'm not that guy. That's like crab. I like crab legs a lot, but god dang, it's a lot of work for looking a little bit of meat.
Yeah, I would much rather eat a lobster than a crab.
Yes, because of the work.
Well, I mean, and once you get the tail's got quite a bit of meat in it.
What are we watching here? Some guys fighting at a store?
Shoplifter knocked out with Coke bottle, tomahawk throw. Hold on. It's going to come from nowhere.
What? Oh, shit. There guy could beat his ass now. You done got the fuck knocked out of you.
That's what we need more of.
Yes, we do. We need more people being vigilantes and more people that stand up for people instead of taking videos. These videos of these people beating these people up on the ice or in subways and stuff just tear me up.
Speaking of ice, did you ever watch that video of that guy?
No, I do not want to watch a man get. I don't want to watch someone die. Just does not do nothing for me. So I'm not going to watch it.
Well, I'll show you
thought
the video and I'll cut out where I'll show you the hit.
Before you show me the video, I'm going to give you my input on this. I've never seen this video. It's sports. There are assholes in sports. You can watch football last night. Someone took a cheap shot at somebody. You can watch basketball. Someone does a cheap shot on someone going up for a layup. It happens all the time. I don't think anybody intentionally wants to kill someone playing a sport. So I don't know the basis of the whole of what happened, but I don't think the man meant to kill the guy playing hockey. Now, do you?
Fine. I don't think so, no.
I mean, he probably wanted to stun the guy a little bit where he wasn't playing, but he did not want to kill him.
But if you look at his back leg, there it is. This is the hit. Watch his left leg. He like throws it up and catches the guy right in the jugular.
I think he meant to fucking hit him right in his fucking chest. I don't think he meant to kill the guy. What a fucking chop.
Why would you kick
Cheap
your
shot.
leg out like that, though?
To try to kick him in the stomach or some shit?
Jeff, I tell my kids all the time, unintended consequences.
I'm not saying that the guy didn't do that on purpose. I'm saying he didn't mean to kill the guy.
No, I don't think that he meant to kill the guy either. No, not 100%.
Now, I'm going to tell you, this fucking racist shit pisses me off right here.
Why
Three,
I didn't read it.
3 days ago in Sheffield, England, a white hockey player called Adam Johnson was kicked in the throat by a black player called Matt. What does it fucking matter what color they are? I get so tired of that shit. It's fucking 2 hockey players. Hockey players play the widest sport there is.
Yeah.
I mean, but there's no sense to call colors over that shit.
Well, I didn't read any of that.
Well, I just saw that on the deal, and I don't.
I was just trying to find the video, but
Oh, that's
yeah, it's a
terrible.
bad deal. I guess they're gonna bring him up on manslaughter charges. It sounds like
That happened in England, right?
Yeah. So I think the guy's family was in attendance. I know his girlfriend was.
Was he an American?
Yeah, he was. Well, I don't know if he's an American. He's a former NHL player.
Man, what a way to go. If I can die playing hockey that way.
Could die in the hot tub.
I'm so tired of that deal.
Why?
Because I don't understand. I do not understand the mourning of celebrities.
Oh, I'm not mourning him. I'm just saying he died in the hot tub.
The people that do, though, I don't get it. If you know somebody personally and they die and they're a celebrity, I understand that.
Right.
But if you're not, like I talked about George Clooney earlier. If George Clooney dies today and he chokes on a fucking lollipop at a Halloween party or whatever happens to him, all these fucking people are going to go batshit crazy nuts. George Clooney ain't walked across the street and say hi to you.
Right.
And same with Michael Jackson, Prince, whatever. I understand the memories that they invoke in you from something that happened. You can, whatever the song was or whatever that was or whatever movie. But like you said earlier, they're chameleons.
Yeah.
I don't.
They're here to make you feel good.
I don't get the being tore up, affected personally by someone you didn't know dying. Just like that hockey player. I don't know that hockey player. I know nothing about him. I feel bad. That's a horrible deal. I feel sorry for his family. I feel sorry for the guy's family who killed him. But I'm not going to lose sleep over him.
Right. No, 100%. Evidently, there's beginning to get a little bit of questions being raised around Matthew Perry's demise.
Well, he was a recovering alcoholic and he'd been in trouble.
His body was not waterlogged.
So they think somebody killed him?
They don't know. The cause of death is still, it was thought to be a drowning, but I guess some of the evidence is not pointing to that. The guy could have fucking tripped and bumped his head and fallen into the hot tub.
Well, but then he would be waterlogged, though, because he would have drowned.
Yeah, it said he played pickleball for 2 hours. He sent his assistant out to run an errand. When the assistant got back, he found him unresponsive in the hot tub.
So the assistant killed him.
He could have just not been in the water that long. You know?
What does this toxicology come back as? Have they come back yet?
Said nothing other than prescription drugs.
Well, shit, you take 12 Xanax.
I know you don't believe the guy, but it's the third leading cause of death in the United States.
Is what?
Modern medicine.
What do you mean I don't believe that?
You didn't believe that guy, anything he said. So.
What guy?
That one guy that we listened to last week.
The guy that can predict death?
Yeah.
I think he's full of shit on the death part. I don't think he's lying about the prescription drugs being. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Oh.
But just because something was a prescription, people can prescribe. Hydrocodone's a prescription drug. Mm-hmm. But if he took 16 of them and got in a fucking hot tub, it'd just show prescription drugs in his system.
Right.
I don't know much about him. I was never a big Friends person at all. I never really watched Friends. I would say that Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox were both smoke shows. The other chick I didn't think was very pretty. Phoebe or whatever her name was.
Right.
But I'm not going to lose sleep over any of them. It's a shame he died. I know the guy had a lot of problems with substance abuse. He grew up with Justin Trudeau. He should have whooped Justin Trudeau's ass and done us all a favor.
I didn't know he was Canadian.
He's Canadian or was born in America that was raised in Canada.
Right.
His dad was an actor.
Was he?
Yeah, his first show he was on, he was with his dad and somebody else.
Huh.
And I did not know this either. Is it Channing Tatum? Is that the guy's name?
Yeah, there is a Channing Tatum.
Is he a good-looking dude?
Very good looking.
He's engaged to Lenny Kravitz's daughter.
Yes.
Zoe.
I
did not realize that was Lenny and Lisa Bonet's daughter.
I knew it was Lenny's. I did not know it was Lisa Bonet's.
Do you know who Lisa Bonet is?
Don't know who Lisa Bonet is.
She was on the Huxtables. She was the light-skinned daughter. Mm-hmm. Pretty good looking. And she was in a show with Mickey.
Why do you got to make it about, why do you got to bring color into this?
I said she was light-skinned.
You brought color into it. Well, why couldn't you just be an actress on
Because she was the good-looking light-skinned one on there. I was trying to explain who she was. Anyway, she was on a movie called Wild Orchid or something. She was pretty hot.
Right.
Really good looking gal.
It's happened at 4:00 in the afternoon.
Okay.
The fire department was called over.
Dude's worth $120 million.
Matthew Perry was?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird deal.
What's
They'll
that
find
between
out.
12 seconds and 32 years? What's that between 12 seconds and 32 years?
No, it's 12 days.
12 days. So what's 120 million? So that would have been 10 times that? Or 120 times that. So he would have been about 9 months. Right? Andy told me earlier that the difference between a billionaire and a millionaire is the difference between 12 days and 30 years. Is that right? 32 years?
Yeah, roughly.
That's the equivalence of how much bigger a billion is. So he's worth 100. He was worth 10% of $1 billion.
He almost got there.
Yep.
20 more years, he'd have been there.
That math don't add up now that you told me that.
Why?
Because 12 days, what's
Jeff,
12 days times 1,000?
Are we really going to do this?
Yeah, because I got to know this. 18 times 12 days is equivalent to 20 times, 25 times, 27, 28 times. So 28. I just don't think it's that the math don't add up on that.
Jeff, I'm just telling you what the internet says.
So the internet tells you that the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire is the difference between 12 days and 32 years.
Make that make sense.
A billion is 1,000 million. Yes, I figured that out already. The common using is the world billion. It's not saying that. I'm just doing the math of the days.
Million seconds is 12 days. A billion seconds is 31 years. A trillion seconds is 31,000 years. That's what the internet says, Jeff. Basic math. Evidently, you're not carrying as many zeros as you should.
I'm having trouble with turning the.
That's what most people do.
Okay.
That's why when you see these $1 billion going over to the Ukraine, people don't think anything of it.
Hold on, I'm going to do 12,000 days.
It's the difference in 31 years and 12 days. Millions and billions. You're not thinking big enough. You don't realize how fucked we are when you see what the national debt is.
I'm fixing to do the calendar right now, or the calculator to do this because
What is the national debt, by the way?
it's too much.
Let me see what that is. If you really want to fucking $33 trillion. And what did we say a trillion was? 31,000 years?
32.876.
There you go.
It's not even 32. It's 32.876.
There you go.
What'd you ask me now?
What the national debt was? 33 trillion.
It's,
And trillion is 31,000 years. That's the difference between a million and a billion and a trillion.
I'm 55 years old, and we've been in debt since the day I was born.
We got 33 of those. $33 trillion in debt we are.
Yeah.
33 trillion seconds is 31,000 years. We got $33 trillion in debt. We are el fucktoed.
But it's not ever going to change.
No, well, somebody who's carrying our debt?
The world?
What's going to happen when the world goes to shit?
The world has already gone to shit.
Yeah, but somehow we're staying afloat. Smarter people than us have figured this out, and I don't know how they've done it.
They're never calling that debt.
Never?
No. Who's going to call it? China says, okay, I want you to pay us back every dime we've loaned you right now. And the United States government said, go fuck yourself. Take us to collections. I tell you what we'll do. We're just going to add tariffs on all your shit you're selling to us.
Right.
It's a never ending.
So everybody's in on it together, you think?
I don't know if everybody's in on it together. Everybody's just accepted that the United States is good for whatever they say they're going to do. And they send us money every month. And they get further and further in debt. And we don't care. The United States can print money.
You don't think that all this is going to come to a head one day?
No.
Never.
No, it'll just keep kicking the can down the road. No, they'll kick the can down the road.
So 500 years from now, national debt's going to be, I don't even know what a zillion.
The world won't be here in 500 years, probably.
You don't think so?
I don't know. Every day we're closer to a day of Jesus coming back. Who knows when it's going to be?
Shit.
Everybody is all the time. I get this all the time. If you read the Bible, things are getting close. Well, yeah, it's a day closer every day. I agree with you on that. But I don't know if things are any. If you were in a foxhole in World War I on the German trenches, You couldn't think things could get much shittier than that, could you?
Jesus is coming at any minute.
That's right. And then if you were on the USS Arizona on December 7th, 1941, and all hell broke loose on that, you're thinking, hey, this is it right now. Or if you woke up on 1929 when the stock market crashed and you had all your money and stuff in it and your whole life, it was worth zero right then, you thought it was now. Yeah. So in history, we've had many, many hard times for a lot of people. A good friend of mine told me when Jimmy Carter was president, he thought the end of the world was here.
Yeah.
You know, and so right now with Joe Biden, I feel the same fucking way. Liberals thought when Donald Trump first got in office, it was the end of the world. So I don't know that. I don't know if things are. My life's better now than it's ever been. What about yours?
Yep.
But we're living in the hardest times right now. It could be a whole lot better. But so what actually is hard times? If your kid would have had the bubonic plague back in England in 1200 or whatever the hell the bubonic plague was going on, that seemed like a pretty bad time.
I think we're living in the easiest time. I think we're living in the best time.
That's what I'm saying. So it's all relevant to how you think. I can tell you right now, if everybody, including me, would take my own advice on this and turn the fucking news off, my life would be a whole lot easier.
Well, I don't watch the news.
Well, but we talk about
you bring me down.
I probably do. But, you know, you can focus on all the negative because it's pretty easy to find a bunch of negative shit in the news. Sure. You know, we've let a lot of crooks run our life, and we keep doing it. And until we stand up to them, it's going to continue to be that way. Mm-hmm. The new Speaker of the House, speaking of politics, don't know much about the guy. He seems like a good dude, but I don't trust him because he's a politician.
I don't know anything about him.
First thing I was told, he's a constitutional attorney. Well, that means he's going to fuck us somehow.
He's going to screw us with the Constitution on his side.
You know, they ain't the first one of them because the president we had was the same way, Mr. Obama. He was a constitutional attorney, and he didn't know shit about the Constitution.
Yeah.
So I don't think nothing in Washington changes regardless who's in charge.
Halloween's tonight.
Yes.
My favorite holiday.
My least favorite.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I hate all the shit we got to do to get everything ready for it.
I don't like. This is at the top.
Your mother.
Very low-key holiday. You're not running around all over the place. You're not at a million different houses. You're not, talking to people that you talk to once a year.
It's one and done.
Yeah.
That part I like.
Very relaxed.
Mom texted me a minute ago. Acella's going to be over here to do my makeup about 1 o'clock if you want to get done. I'm not getting my fucking face painted at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
It might be the only time she has to do it, Jeff.
Well, I'll wear
People
a mask
busy.
then. I'm going to scare the shit out of the kids like I always do, and I'll put on a ghillie suit and something and jump out and scare the little fuckers. But I am not putting the makeup on at 2 o'clock in the freaking afternoon. I got other shit to do. First thing this morning, too, Mom, did you go in the barn and get all the witches out? Yeah. You see me sitting here in my underwear reading the newspaper this morning? That's what I did before I did this. I went outside, did all that stuff, come on, stripped down in my drawers to read the newspaper. No.
It's got to get done, Jeff.
I understand that, but it shouldn't be that much work. Our house looks like a haunted house anyways.
Okay.
All our shit you come into the house in. I like it. I like Halloween more than I do Christmas with all the decorations and stuff. I despise Christmas lights. Absolutely hate them.
I despise it. We're already seeing Christmas commercials. Those people ought to be shot.
United Market Street in Wichita Falls has had Christmas decorations for sale since middle of September.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
When is a proper time? They
After
should have.
Thanksgiving.
I think so too. Thanksgiving night,
Christmas.
after we've had our third meal and our third helping of pumpkin pie, it's time for Christmas commercials that night. But up until then, there shouldn't be Christmas commercials.
No, it shouldn't. I don't even know. I mean, we hadn't even gotten through Halloween yet. We're already seeing Christmas commercials.
I'm assuming next week we'll start seeing Easter shit.
The rate we're going.
This time of year goes by so fast too, because this is my favorite time of year. Yep. September through Christmas is my favorite times of the year. I love Christmas and what it stands for, but I feel so sorry for the burden that Christmas puts on so many families.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the poor people that have got 12 and 13-year-old daughters that want this fancy clothes and shit they can't afford, or want a $1,000 cell phone. And I'm talking about people that are poor that work. I'm not talking about poor people that live in Section 8 apartments that get everything given to them for free, because those people don't have the same stress that someone that works that's poor has. Because those poor people that work, they don't get any handouts. They got to make their payments on their phone. They got to make their payments on their house. They don't get rebated electricity and stuff. Those are the people I feel sorry for.
Yeah.
You know, and shit, I can't imagine what a Christmas dinner is going to cost this year to buy.
Phew.
Wonder what's turkey? Look up what turkey prices are right now. Turkey used to be a cheap meal. I bet turkey's $1.29 a pound or more.
68 cents a pound.
That's still cheaper than I thought it would be. So you can buy a 30-pound turkey for $20.
Fucking who's buying a 30-pound turkey?
I'm doing the math. A 20-pound turkey then for $14.
I don't even think people are buying them that big. That's a big turkey. They don't even get in the wild that big.
Well, I know farm-raised turkeys are bigger. They get
And then
big.
when you take all the guts and shit out, it's a big turkey.
What kind of bird do you think you're going to buy for our family?
What do you mean?
We'll feed with all the guys
Probably a
and stuff.
butterball.
Well, no, how big? We're going to have 20 people to 30 people at the house for
It says
Thanksgiving.
16 to 24 pounds.
Okay.
That's a big turkey, though.
Well, yeah, but we're feeding 30 people.
I don't think we get them that big.
Yeah, we do.
I think
It takes up a whole roaster oven.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Mom buys a big ass turkey, goes in a roaster oven.
16 to 24 pounds. Wow.
Yeah, that's an average turkey. And
Serves
it's
8 to 12.
Yeah, 68 cents a pound is not bad at all, though.
20. Well, no, hold on. This says if you add it to cart right now, it's 26.56. Average price is $128 a pound.
So it's already went up doubled. I said a minute ago.
Dallas.
I said the price going to be the same. $1.29 a pound is what I said. What was it? A dollar what?
$1.28.
I'm pretty damn close. $1.29 a pound for a turkey. Same turkey like that probably 4 years ago was 39 cents a pound. But a can of cranberries probably cost $5.
Right.
I saw cranberry bogs when I was in Cape Cod. Never seen one
You
before.
can, back to the carnivore diet, just eat steak. Way cheaper.
Steak's not cheaper.
Way cheaper.
What do you think a good steak is right now? $15 a pound.
Probably.
Yeah. I think your $1.29 pound turkey is a lot cheaper.
But the steak's better.
We're not doing steak for Thanksgiving.
Well,
But we can do steak for Christmas. You know what? What we'll do for Christmas is you do a ribeye.
I just hope I'm not sick still.
You won't be sick.
That's what I'm feeling.
You're
I'm feeling like it's going to be a year of sickness.
You're whining.
The winter of darkness is upon us. Just like Biden. Biden was right. He's 3 years late, but he was right. The winter of darkness.
We had frost this morning.
We did. What are you going to do if I can't go this weekend? Happy's going to be by himself?
No, Tony can hunt.
Oh.
It's fucking Tuesday.
And
You
this
got
is
vaginitis.
it's progressively going to get worse.
It
Jeff.
won't be if you take some fucking medicine.
I'm telling you, by Friday, I'll be bedridden.
Okay.
Bedridden.
Well, if you're bedridden on Friday, then we'll be hunting. Tony will be hunting on
there will
Saturday
be,
morning.
we're going to have to do bloodletting and all this other sort of stuff.
Bloodletting.
My throat is going to be so inflamed. My nasal passages, my throat, they're going to call in the doctors for bloodletting.
Could you imagine going to the doctor and he said, we're going to do some bloodletting?
We're going to cut those blisters open. No, fuck no. God, just kill me. Stick a sword in my heart and just be done with
That's
it.
what they did to those people that they did.
I
that
know.
stuff.
Yeah, you got blisters in the back of there. We got to bust them open.
Bloodletting. Fuck.
I'm done for, Jeff. I am done for. It is just, it's like a gusher back there, just running right into my nasal, my sinuses.
You got a cold is what you have.
I know I've got a cold
Well, that's not the end of the
from
world.
picking up fucking numbers at the cakewalk.
Maybe you caught it at that trampoline when you was hurting those kids.
Could have been from the dodgeballs. Yeah.
I guess like taking Dayquil or something is beyond you. Something that
I don't
might
like
help you.
Dayquil. I don't like it. Makes me feel like I got the spins. It always has. Any kind of like daytime NyQuil, you just go to sleep. But like any non-drowsy sort of cold medicine, I always feel like I'm spinning.
If I give you a pill right now, will you take it?
No, absolutely not.
I bought some somewhere we were this summer. I had a cold and it made me feel a lot better. I think when we were in Louisiana, I took it. It's just an allergy med, but it's a non-drowsy one.
Can't do it. It's not allergies. It's cold.
It's like loratadine or some shit. It works. It worked for me.
This is not good. That's all I know.
You'll survive this.
I'll survive it. in February.
But a man cold, women do not understand because they don't get them.
Oh, they don't get it. They don't get it. I guarantee you, Jesse would much rather take care of the two boys than take care of me. Because I am very needy.
Is she not really helpful when you're sick?
It's not a whole lot of compassion.
Do you feel like you're a burden to her?
Yeah. You're always, she goes above and beyond for the boys. And then, heaven forbid I ask for an extra blanket. She's up 4 or 5 in the morning making chicken noodle soup and, fluffing their pillow. God forbid I ask for, a little back rub. Or a wet cloth to break my fever.
Michelle, can you give me a blanket? Or did you this cold did it make your legs quit working?
Legs not yeah.
No.
Knees go out on you this cold?
Yeah. That's pretty bad. You can walk over to that closet and get your blankets 8 foot away.
What are the Vikings gonna do?
Man, I tell you what, it's a shame.
They
The way
played out of a
the way
hole.
the NFC is right now, I'm not so sure Minnesota was not a legit chance to maybe go to the fucking Super Bowl. I don't think Detroit and them are that much difference between them.
Today's a trade deadline, so
Yeah, I saw where Montez Sweat, the Chicago Bears traded the Redskins for Montez Sweat. Why would Chicago make a move?
why would Chicago make a move? They're
Yes.
playing for next year. They're done.
Well, I don't think Montez Sweat's on the last end of his year of his contract.
Um,
I don't know. I don't think Minnesota, man, there's so many quarterbacks have gotten hurt lately. I don't know if New Orleans would trade Jameis Winston. Davis Mills' kid at Houston played last year. He wasn't bad.
This says here the Commanders are not done. They're shopping around Chase Young.
Well, I knew they were going to try to trade both of them. I'm going to tell you what, as a Redskin fan, I'm so fucking tired of that whole organization. It's been a fucking joke for the last 15 years. They should be right now 5-3. They find a way to lose.
I like Sam Howell.
I'm not against Sam Howell at all. But them defense, they got all them great defensive players, and they can't make a stop when they need to make a stop.
Right.
Terry McLaurin dropped some fucking balls, hit him right in his fucking hands the other day, and he's usually sure-handed. I don't know what the answer is. I just hope they don't trade Chase Daniels to the Cowboys.
Chase Daniels.
Or Chase Young, I mean.
Oh,
I hope they don't trade him to the Cowboys.
right.
But they should trade and try to procure a bunch of damn draft picks anyways.
Would you get rid of Devontae Adams if you're the Raiders? They said there's not a chance in hell of that happening.
Well, fucking, if you're going to throw the ball 50 feet over his head last night like they kept doing. Jimmy G is a good quarterback in the system.
Right.
Like Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
And Brock Purdy's catching a lot of shit right now. They don't have Debo. They don't have Trent Williams. San Francisco's got some injuries right now, and that's why they're 5-3. I think they'll get right back on the board again when they get going. Philadelphia looks fucking really, really, really good.
I don't know. Like I've heard Rodgers say, that second and third year, like once enough tape gets out there on you, it's hard.
On who? On Purdy?
Just that, when you're an unknown guy, defenses don't know really how to play against you. And then once more and more tape of you gets out there, they start scheming up ways of beating you. So that might happen.
Well, you lose Debo and Trent. You're talking about
I understand.
that's two big weapons.
Right.
And McCaffrey's been hurt and stuff, and so I don't know. Their defense hasn't played as well lately. The biggest disappointment to me is still the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Justin Herbert just does not gotten any better at all, and he just really surprises me. Right now, if I had to pick my Super Bowl teams in the AFC, as much as I fucking hate to say this, just cannot stand to pull for them, would be Cincinnati.
I saw Burrow's record from Halloween on, and I mean, he's almost unstoppable.
He's money.
For the last 3 years, September's been pretty shaky. September and October have been shaky, but from Halloween on, there's nobody better.
He's good, and this time of year is his time of year. And right now, Cincinnati looks like if I had to pick the best team in the AFC right now today, Cincinnati'd have to be one of them I'd pick. Like Buffalo, they beat the shit out of Miami. I thought it was Miami for a while. Right. Then Buffalo just dismantles them. Then Buffalo gets should have got beat by the Giants, and they got beat by, who beat them?
They beat Miami, right? On Thursday night Thursday night?
Yeah, then they just barely beat the Giants, but then they got beat by somebody because everybody picked them in the Survivor League.
Fuck, who beat them?
Was it the Jets? It was the
No,
Jets.
they beat them week 1.
Okay, that's right. It was. Though they played twice though.
They will. They hadn't played twice again.
New England. New England beat
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
Yeah. Never would have thought that would happen in a million years.
No.
So when I start thinking Buffalo is the team, it's not Buffalo. Well, right now, Cincinnati looks like the best team in the AFC.
Right.
I mean, they went to San Francisco and beat up San Francisco team, but they still won. And then in the NFC right now, I was picking San Francisco. Now Philadelphia looks like the best team. Last couple of weeks, Minnesota's come on really good, and so have the Cowboys. But Dallas, when it counts, I just don't have any faith in Dak. Tony Pollard, what happened to him? Is their offensive line that bad right now?
I guess.
I mean, and I knew that game was going to be in Dallas. I knew Dallas had it locked up on the first series, and they sacked Dak 3 out of the first 4 times, and they sacked him on like 3rd and 15, and they got a guy coming by and touched somebody on the helmet, and they gave him a 5-yard illegal deal, and then Dallas went and scored a touchdown. And I knew right then, I said, this is over.
Vikings were right in the middle of it. 4-4. Lions are at 6-2, but I mean, you're not far out of it.
Look at the Vikings record the last 5 weeks and who they've played. They got beat barely by Kansas City. They should have won that game. I mean, they really have coming on at the last couple of beats. I mean,
they beat the Niners.
No, they did beat the Niners.
Bears lost to the Chiefs by a touchdown.
Yeah, and that's a game they should have won that game probably.
Back and forth game with the Chargers. They played the Eagles. The Buccaneers was a game they should have won.
Yes, but I mean they should be 5-3.
Yeah,
but they've played really well lately, and Kirk Cousins has been played probably the best he's played in his career, and that sucks for them. I don't know who they. I mean, you just can't go get a quarterback. You can get every other piece of the puzzle. You can find someone.
Yeah. But
it's going to be hard. Bailey Zappi, kid at New England, looked pretty good when he played a few times last year. He's on their practice squad, but nobody's grabbed him. I figured somebody grabbed him off the practice squad. I don't know. Case Keenum, I think, is the Houston's 3rd quarterback.
Well, that would kill my stock of Justin Jefferson.
Case Keenum throws the ball pretty good. I mean, you'd rather.
I hope they go get Jameis Winston. Go get a gunslinger.
He's going to chunk the ball.
Get a gunslinger.
But that's what they're going to have to do. You know what? The kid that's quarterbacking for Chicago right now, the kid whose dad's the big arm wrestler.
Oh yeah, Bajent.
Yeah, he might have a little bit of potential. I don't think Justin Fields is the answer for an NFL quarterback.
Probably not.
Matter of fact, if the Bears have the first pick, they're going to take the kid from SC who thinks he's going to get part ownership.
Yeah.
The way he's played lately, he's going to be lucky to fucking get picked in the first player taken.
Yeah.
I don't know that if he's the consensus first player now, do you?
I don't know. Who else would it be?
Oh, there's a quarterback at North Carolina.
Yeah.
Drake Mays, maybe is his name. And there's that kid at Washington is really good. I'm going to tell you who's fucking looks good. Bo Nix at Oregon.
Yeah.
Bo looks really, really good. Quinn Ewers is not a first-round draft pick, I don't think. He needs to stay one more year, which is going to be interesting because if he stays one more year, what's going to happen with Arch? And the kid who played against BYU for Texas played really good the other day.
Right. Let's
see
what the trade rumors are.
The Raiders are fools not to trade Devontae Adams.
So there's not a shot in hell.
Why would you not?
I guess they like him.
Well, I understand that, and Danielle Hunter with Minnesota's been lights on. Well, they're out of it now. They need to trade somebody. Ryan Tannehill is a name that I could see them picking up. Nobody's going to trade for Derrick Henry.
No, they said that's over with.
But I mean, he's done. But I'm going to tell you what, Will Levis looked really good.
He did.
And I'm assuming Will Levis will be the first player picked up in our leagues.
Oh, he's already gone.
He is? Who has him?
Well, in one league he's there, but in the home league, Falks has him.
But nobody has him in the big baller league.
No.
Tony has first pickup too. Tony needs to pick him up.
Why? Who were his quarterbacks?
He don't have any. He's got everybody heard he had Deshaun Watson and somebody else.
I would go pick Will Levis up then. But you know that he's not going to duplicate that.
No. But him being able to throw the ball down and being a better deep passer is going to open it up their running game a lot.
He's got Justin Herbert and C.J. Stroud. What are you talking about?
Okay, the other league is when he's quarterback shy.
Well, he's not going to get him in that league because he's already gone. I wish I'd have picked him up. Ooh, poor Blake has Kirk Cousins in the baller league.
Yeah, he's screwed.
I'll give him something. My team's trash anyway. Blake, if you're listening, pay half of my pay half of my entry fee, and you can have whoever you want on my team.
Or just pay your entry fee.
Yeah, or just pay yours.
Yeah.
Start by paying yours and then pay half of mine, and then you can have my team. What's left of it? Y'all want to book a hunt?
Yeah, it's a guy on the phone. I tell you what, gentlemen that hunt with me, I love you to death, and women that hunt with me, I love you to death. But one of my biggest pain in the asses is when guys have their secretaries call me to ask me questions. That poor lady, she doesn't want to ask me questions no more, and I want to have to answer her.
She doesn't even know what questions to ask.
No, and it's just, and then they'll be like, "Okay, thank you," and then they'll call me back 5 minutes later. Well, he wanted me to ask you this. I had a lady one time. I told her, "You know what? Tell him to call me.
Yeah.
Let him call me, and we'll talk about this and get it all done in 5 minutes instead of me and you spending an hour on the phone 20 different times."
I know you deal with this a lot, but I've had some people message me and they're like, "What clothes should I bring? What's the weather going to be like?"
Watch the weather.
And I tell them, like, when you get about 3 days out, like, you're not packing for your trip right now, I hope. But they're like, what? Any idea what the weather's going to be like when I get there? Well, you're coming in December, and it's either going to be 75 degrees or it's going to be about 15. So, like, that's within the range of outcomes. So when you get to be about 3 days out, look at the weather, look at the wind chill, pack accordingly.
Yeah, I don't understand how. And then when we went to Canada the first trip,
yeah, you were unpacked.
I didn't look at the weather, the wind. I looked at the temperatures, but I didn't look at the wind at all.
Yeah,
but I knew what the temperatures were going to be like. But
Right.
It shocks me. Like this weekend, if you were crane hunting in the Panhandle of Texas this weekend, you're going to freeze your ass off.
right.
I think it was 32 degrees was the high. The low was about 20 degrees, and the wind was blowing about 35 miles an hour. So you were going to be cold.
Yeah.
This weekend, we're going to be right at 72 degrees. It's going to be nice.
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it's going to be pretty nice. I think on Wednesday, we got another front coming in.
80 degrees on Sunday.
Yep.
I can understand asking if you need waders or anything for water. I get that, but what's the weather going to be like?
Help yourself a little bit.
Like-
I get that all the time.
What's the weather going to be like when I'm there? I don't know, dude. If we get a massive cold front, I've seen it in fucking single digits the time of year you're going to be here. If it's like the last 3 years, it's going to be 75 and pleasant. So bring your sunscreen.
I had a guy booked a hunt for January a couple months ago. What field will we hunt on?
Right.
Oh, fuck, I don't have a clue. I had some dove hunters this year that were just adamant about hunting a place we hunted for the last 4 years, and there was no food on it this year. And we want to hunt there. Okay, that's where we're going to take you to hunt.
Your wish is my command.
Yep, that's where we'll go. And then he comes in. I say, yeah, that's where you want to go. That's where we're going to go.
Yeah.
Well, do you not think there's no birds there? No, I've been trying to tell you that's why we're not going there. But if that's where you want to hunt, that's a place that we farm and lease. We'll take care of you. We can hunt there all you want to.
We aim to please.
Well, if you don't think it'll be any good, well, I'm going to take you to the best place we have to hunt.
Right.
Why would we not? Every outfitter out there is doing that. They're taking you to the best places they have to hunt. If you've been there 5 days and you've shot a limit 4 days in a row, on the fifth day, you probably are not going to hunt on the cherry spot. You may. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it just, that part of the whole deal amazes me, is not being able to watch the weather.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty simple process.
3 days out. Type it in. Type in the location you're going. It'll give you a 10-day forecast. It's usually pretty accurate.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, if Minnesota would trade for Jameis Winston, I think Jameis Winston is on a 2 or 3 year contract.
Right.
And it's not a lot of money. That would make a good trade for them, because Kirk Cousins is going to be a free agent after this year. Now, Kirk Cousins may retire. Kirk Cousins, if he retired now, would have gone out at the top of his game. His last 2 seasons have been very good.
I don't know. I think he's a baller and doesn't want to go out like this.
I think he comes back and plays. I'm just saying, if he did retire, he would go out at the top.
Right.
But I think he would come back, and I think Minnesota is open to re-signing him. They like him.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you what, that little Jordan Addison guy they got is good.
Yeah.
And Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson may be a top 3 or 4 receiver combo in the league next year.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure going to have somebody like Shanahan's going to argue with me about it, but that's...
Addison's look good.
I mean, you've got Tua, you've got him, Tyreek and Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
You've got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I can't think of very many other teams that got a 1-2 punch as wide receivers.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure there are some other ones. I'm just not thinking about them, but I would have to put Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson up there.
He's looked good in the snaps he's gotten.
What do you think about Zach Wilson? Zach Wilson has not played horrible. He hasn't been great, but he hasn't played horrible. That was the ugliest. He's winning though. And when it counts in the fourth quarter, he's been pretty good. But that is the ugliest game the other day I ever seen.
Yeah.
We
got extra. We got a fifth quarter of it.
Was it 24 punts?
I don't know if I know the record was like 27.
They did not do that.
They didn't get there. I don't know. But yeah, that was an ugly game, and that's the one that goes to halftime, of course, or overtime. That's the game we want to watch more of.
Yeah, it's always that way.
But anyway.
All right, let's get the hell out of here. We got a lot. You got a bunch of stuff to get done this week.
Oh, I can feel my throat closing up. My sinuses they're gone. Everybody have a safe and happy Halloween. Use your head, all right? Hunting season's here. Don't be drinking and driving. Call an Uber. It's not hard.
This is a scary day for America.
Yeah, it could be, potentially.
Because you can blend in real well being a fucking psycho-looking fucker.
Right.
And walk down streets and be around a bunch of kids and stuff. When I was a kid growing up, you're worried about somebody putting a razor blade in an apple.
I did see that the FDA just came out and told parents to be on the lookout for licorice. Tastes like shit.
Do what?
It's just a joke.
Licorice tastes like shit anyways.
I know. That's the fucking point, Jeff.
I've always wanted to do this, and I never do it. First of all, I was going to be a bloody Santa Claus because Michelle's the Grinch tonight, and I just can't do that to kids because I'm afraid it will really scare Christmas, and especially worried about my middle young grandson because he's pretty impressionable. But I've always wanted to do caramel onions.
Oh, that would be bad.
Kid bite into one of the fuckers and be an onion instead of an apple would be excellent. But yeah, y'all be safe tonight. Watch out for fucking weirdos.
They're going to be everywhere.
Take your kids trick or treating. But sadly, in our town, everybody in Knox City comes to our house. It's a pretty big house to come to. We give good candy and we scare everybody, and they like that. And parents set their kids up. But man, it gets me. I talk to people that live in the big cities, and they just take their kids to people's houses they know, and it's sad.
Yeah.
Halloween used to be so much fun. We never had a parent go with us. When I was a kid trick-or-treating, we never had a parent go. From the time I was 7 years old on, it was just fucking kids running the streets.
I would never let my kid do that.
Well, that's a different world we live in now.
Never, not ever.
You would have back in the 70s and thought nothing of it because everyone else was doing it. You didn't think shit about it. Nowadays, that's a major thing you got to worry about. Man, one year I got so disappointed on Halloween. I was a poor kid, so my costume consisted of a sheet with the eyes cut out, and I couldn't see, it was kind of dangling in front of us, and I tripped running up on these people's front porch, and I hit head first on their fucking brick on their house, and I cut my fucking head, and I bled, had to go fucking home.
There's a house here. They put out the yard decorations, and they've got like the guide wires that you cannot see. And one year we were walking up to the house as this group of kids was walking away, and he tells everybody, "Don't cut across the yard. Stay on the sidewalk. Do not cut across the yard."
Kids don't listen.
This fucking kid hauled ass across the yard and caught that guide wire about chest high and just flipped over. Candy went everywhere. Costume was all fucked up. I know you're not supposed to laugh at a kid's misfortune, but
You did.
oh hell yeah, I did.
I would have laughed too.
Like I almost couldn't contain myself. And then there was another year. This house had terrible stickers, goat heads, like bad ones. And same thing. Kid runs across the yard. Should have walked on the sidewalk. Trips in the guy's yard, and just face plants in a patch of goat heads, and just comes up and is like, just Chris Farley, just oh. His palm of his hands were just covered in goat heads. And those costumes, they attract everything.
Yes.
So he had grass and stickers and weeds. Like it was just like a magnet on him. That was another time. We'll see what happens tonight, but I get a lot of joy at little children's misfortune.
We have a lot of kids come to our house and take pictures every year. And I'm not going to mention this lady's name, but she's a real shitty mom, and her little fuckhead kids come to the house and they want to crawl on shit.
Yeah.
out in the yard, and I got onto him 2 or 3 times. I went from the nice guy, the neighbor guy, to get the fuck off of my shit real fast.
Can't do that, dude.
Have some manners. Yeah, you can too. No. Yes, bullshit. If you fucking had some manners, you wouldn't do that shit.
Uncouth.
No, yeah, it was. He fucking needed to have his ass beat. Is what he needed. He's lucky it wasn't 20 years earlier. I'd taken off my belt and beat his ass like what happened when I was a kid for acting like that. Then I'd have got home and got my ass beat again.
Did you see they were talking about, so like you get, everybody's dressed fucking goofy or whatever. There's no worse time to get into a fight than Halloween. And this guy gets fucking knocked out. Halloween knockout. I'll see if I can find it real quick, and then we'll get off of here. But it's like, there's no good time.
Oh, it's the black bouncer. It's a bouncer.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah, he knocks the shit out of this kid. I don't know why he hit the kid either.
Guy told him to walk, I guess. I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh, he used the N-word, though.
Well, we can't do that.
Well, he did. He's black, so he gets away with it.
He can say it.
Yeah, he used the N-word.
Here it is. I don't know what happened either, but he knocked the fuck out of that kid. Here it is. Oh, he told that. What? Could you? It's bad enough you're getting knocked out. Now you're getting knocked out in a leotard, and it's all over the internet.
Well, he's not a fighter, anyways, but he did get back up pretty fast. I'm kind of surprised. Go back again. Does he slap the guy on the arm, or does he not do shit?
No, he told the guy to walk.
Well, it don't matter. He don't own the fucking road. He's some influencer YouTube guy's bodyguard. Little chick's got a nice rack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd fucking foul on his ass. Yeah, that'd be it for him.
How big is that guy?
Big, 6'5". Jeez. He hits that fucking little guy, looks like Screech off of Saved by the Bell.
I'm just saying, like, you get your ass kicked, it's one thing.
His kid didn't get his ass kicked. He got pummeled. It was a one hit knockout.
You get knocked out, it's one thing. Like, it wasn't a big deal to get knocked out in your day because it wasn't on, wasn't on video. There's not going to be video replay of it, World Star or whatever. Like, today, it's bad getting knocked out.
The guy behind he's got a phone up. Look.
Yeah. He's got another camera angle. It's bad getting knocked out today because there's potential that it could get put on the internet. Getting knocked out at Halloween has got to be the worst. Because you're dressed in a goofy costume. This poor guy's wearing an 80s leotard, neon, and he just gets cold cocked by Andre the Giant.
Do you think Andre the Giant there's jumping on fucking Aaron Donald? No.
That guy's a big guy, Jeff. I don't know how big that guy is.
He's a big man, but he's not jumping on a big guy.
No, he's not.
He's punching.
I don't know.
He's punching that 140-pound fucking kid.
I don't know. I don't want him punching me.
But he had no reason to hit that kid. I don't know the backstory. It's what I'm saying. I don't know if there's anything.
Yeah, I don't either.
It looks to me just like he's being a fucking asshole.
Apparently, so like the one girl says, "What kind of security guard are you?" I don't know if he was working security there that night.
He's Jack Doherty's bodyguard. Whoever the hell Jack Doherty is.
YouTuber. Oh,
that's his bodyguard.
Let's see who Jack Doherty is. Probably the guy he knocked out.
Bitch, pay me.
Yeah. I don't think that's him.
An Irish studio potter?
I don't think that's the right
YouTuber Jack Doherty.
Jack Doherty.
YouTube. Yeah.
I don't know. They all look young.
12 million subscribers.
Yeah, I don't know what he does. Looks like a little kid right there. Oh, that was 6 years ago. I don't know. I don't know what he does. I don't know who he is.
Photo shoot.
That's Jack Doherty, whoever he is.
He's got a Lamborghini.
No wonder he needs a bodyguard. He's fucking 12.
He's got 150,000. He's got 12 million subscribers, but he only has 150, 200,000 on his views. What's a 200,000 views? That video right there's got 250,000 views in 3 days. How much money is that making in off that one?
I don't know. The thing is he's doing it consistently, so I don't know. You can find his net worth, probably.
He's got a bodyguard.
Right?
He looks like he needs one, too.
Doherty YouTube net worth. 2 million approximately is his net worth. Enough to hire a big bodyguard that's punking other YouTubers. Because
Yep.
I think that's all that party was YouTubers and OnlyFans. OnlyFans chicks.
Why does a guy worth $2 million need a fucking bodyguard?
The little guy.
Well, it don't matter.
I don't know.
Elon,
I bet he doesn't get invited back.
No.
At least not with that bodyguard.
No.
So poor guy. Got knocked out in a leotard.
I'd like to know the guy that got his ass knocked out. Why?
Yeah,
I have a real problem with these guys like that hit that kid. He didn't need to hit that kid. He could have slapped him. I'd got more out of him slapping him than fucking punching him. If he'd have bitch slapped that kid, he's going to knock him down anyways.
Right.
And left a palm print on his face for about a week. The guy would have done the same thing. I just don't have a lot of respect for a big guy just punching some guy because he can.
A little guy?
Yeah, I mean, that's fucking cherry picking that deal. Okay, the girl pushed him. The guy didn't.
Big guy. Sorry for that kind of language, people. We normally don't have that on here.
No, we don't use the N-word. But
He did.
It's okay.
He can say whatever the fuck he wants to.
Yeah, that's a guy called Sir and Alley. But I'd like to really know how tough a guy he is.
Right.
You know, is he tough beating up kids, or is he really a tough guy?
Yeah, he's beating up YouTube stars.
Yeah.
Did
I
you?
tell you who would scare me as a bodyguard? A guy that weighs about 200 pounds. That was a special forces guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy that would scare me to have as a bodyguard.
Let's see if we can find anything.
It was an influencer party.
Yeah, it was. That one girl is.
With fellow, right there says who it was. With fellow influencer.
They're all influencers. Punch man in the face after the popular YouTuber got into an argument with fellow influencer Corinna Kopf at a fancy dress party. Fancy dress party? What are we talking about here?
She's got her titties hanging out.
Yeah, what are we talking about? It's not fancy. It's a costume party. Cop, a popular Twitch streamer and OnlyFans creator, had turned down a request to join Doherty on a live stream video. I don't know. The towering security guard, identified by TMZ as influencer. God damn it.
The guy's name's Cog.
Kane Kong is his name. Exchanged words with a member of Cop's entourage who is dressed in 80s fluoro activewear with a singlet that reads, "Get physical." He did not get the memo to do that. Doherty can be heard telling his bodyguard to chill before Kong throws a punch, knocking the man flat on the ground. Cop says, "What's wrong with you? Are you fucking crazy?" So it sounds like.
Do you think Kong gets fouled?
Oh, I bet that's him. Yeah, that's him right there.
Yeah.
So that's the Doherty guy.
Yeah, he's trying to chill this guy out.
He tried to get her to do a live stream or something. I guess she declined, and then.
But he told his bodyguard to chill out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the bodyguard was fucking. Look at that picture. This poor dickhead here. Just. You're not supposed to laugh, but damn it.
Snoop Dogg was in concert there.
Wow.
Okay, and he got in trouble in 2019 for punching some other fucker.
Kong did?
Yeah, if you going down, it was just.
Where did it say that?
It said that somewhere. 19 is it when he knocked out a female fan.
Oh, so he is a tough guy.
He's a piece of shit. He hit a fucking woman and knocked her out. Fuck him.
It's a big tough guy.
Yeah, I wish somebody took a 2x4 beside his big fucking ass. You better take a big 2x4 because he's a big motherfucker.
Better not miss either, because if he catches it, he's going to beat the shit out of you with it.
Yeah, it seems like a real piece of shit though.
Yeah,
That a foul on his ass.
that's not good.
Yep. And
Not
one,
good.
you're not a legal expert, but that looks like an assault to me. Well, yeah, I don't know what the fuck you'd say. The guy didn't do shit. He got punched in the fucking mouth.
He was just trying to break it up, and Kane Kong knocked him the fuck out. And he got knocked out in a leotard. That's the worst of it all.
He got up though, so he didn't knock
He did.
him like you would have thought it would have been. But he punched him.
God. Is there anything more emasculating than that?
No, that's pretty bad. I've
I mean, how are you ever going to get a chick after that?
I've never been knocked out.
No.
I don't know.
Definitely not in a leotard.
No. I've seen a couple of people knocked out, but I've never been knocked out.
Like, he just flat backs him. Poor bastard. That's probably his girlfriend right there. So now she's fighting this fight, and he's got to live with that.
I come out of a bar one night and these guys were hip hopping around, going to fight. They were all talking and shit.
Yeah.
This one motherfucker got in this kung fu stance and was doing all this flipping and kicking around. and he spun around, and this dude fucking sucker punched him and hit him right in his fucking throat. Down went Frazier. That motherfucker was out cold, boy. And people were having to walk over him, go out of the bar, just stepping over him.
That UFC guy gave Tyson Fury a good run for his money in the boxing
Didn't
match.
he knock him down?
Knocked him down one time, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know I don't know like Tyson Fury, if he fought back George Foreman in his prime or Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali, how he really is, because there's not that many good boxers now.
Yeah, I don't know. He got pissed off at Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan said if John Jones and Tyson Fury walk into a room together and only one is allowed to leave, Tyson Fury is not leaving.
Why'd he get mad at that?
Because he says he's the greatest fighter ever. And he's
a boxer,
he
not
said
a fighter.
There is no man on God's green earth that will, beat him.
I think he's misconstruing boxing with fighting, because it's two different things. Do you agree on that?
Yes.
I would definitely say him and John Jones is at least a 10 million each.
Maybe this
fight,
isn't it.
for sure. Not collective D.
Oh,
not
never
to
mind.
do 10 fights each.
That wasn't it.
What do you think about Bud Light sponsoring the UFC now?
I'm 34-year-old, as strong, as big, as fucking fat as I've ever been. I'm looking to sign a 10-fight deal. I ain't going nowhere.
That's
I ain't
not it.
I thought it was smart by the UFC to get that free money.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, they
Dana White talks about it. He said a lot of the stuff Bud Light does, I agree with. They give away millions of dollars to first responders, to families that have lost parents in war. So he said there's a lot of stuff that Bud Light does that I agree with. And he said,
So this is what I told Mom. We talked about this. I said, I don't blame them for taking the money. I said, the company they're taking the money from is not Bud Light. It's AvBev or whatever it's called.
right.
The same motherfuckers, if it was Michelob, they'd have given them $10 million or $100 million or whatever it was. Nobody thought nothing of it because it's Michelob. It's owned by the same freaking conglomerate. If I'm them, I'm taking the money. I said, if Bud Light called up me and Andy and said, hey, we want to give you $250,000 a year to sponsor your shit, send us a check, please.
Right.
We will be Bud Light people. I'm not drinking the shit because I don't drink it anyways.
Well, I mean, he said that it's not anything. It's not about money anymore for him.
Well, he took the money, so yeah, it is about
For
money.
all of you motherfuckers out there, I'm the baddest man on the planet. I heard Joe Rogan say something about me the other day, and I've been off all the social media, so I didn't reply to that little pussy. Little fucking midget, bald-headed midget. I heard him say that John Jones could me up if we went in the room together. I don't think so. Not a man born from his mother can me up in a room on our own. Whatever happens in that room, I'd be walking out. Not a fucking problem.
He's the GOAT. Yeah, there's no one thinks like Tyson Fury could beat John Jones in a fight.
Isn't that fucking interesting?
No one thinks that. Tyson doesn't think that. You want to talk about who's the baddest man on the planet? If John Jones and Tyson Fury are locked into a room,
Game over.
I'm pushing all my chips on black. I'm just.
But Tyson did not like that. But he,
Well, I'll tell you what.
Francis Ngannou knocked him down.
Why don't Tyson do this then? It's a real simple deal. Fight him in a fight, not a boxing match.
It wouldn't even be the same.
But that's what he's saying he could win at.
I think there's video of him doing like wrestling, and he looks awful.
He's too big. He's lanky, or something about him. He don't look normal.
Hell of a fighter, hell of a boxer.
He would beat Jones in a fist fight, but he ain't beating him in a fight.
Even John Jones. I mean, he's got good hands. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I made that up.
Well, I agree with you on that. Just like what's the rich dude Mayweather?
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather. In a boxing match, he's going to whip Conor McGregor. In a fight, Conor McGregor is going to kill him.
I think we showed this. Yeah, there's Nick Diaz wrestling Tyson Fury. Yeah, we showed this. I think when Clay was here.
Yeah. Do you think that God dang it, Mayweather is going to whip Conor in a fight?
No,
Not close.
no,
Not even close at all.
no. It would be ugly.
And that's the same thing with these guys did this stuff. Mike Tyson, I've always said, could have fought in the UFC because he could just throw it so hard. And he probably could with some training. But when you fight them guys that are street fighters, it just makes such a difference. They know with their legs and all kinds of shit.
Yeah. I'm glad I did not buy that, though. Evidently, it was a bit of a flop. But anyway, all right, we can get out of here. Have a safe, happy Halloween. We've gone an extra 30 minutes, basically. Have a safe, happy Halloween. Hunting season is here. Be safe. Opening weekend for us here. If you're kicking off this weekend, be safe. Have fun out there. And remember why you're there. Peace out.
Bye.
Check out our sponsors. Go check out Alpha Outdoor Specialties. Get the Stanfield stool and the brand new Blind Caddy. I can't wait to try that out. Hemp Hill Farms. Getting old sucks. CBD takes care of the ouchies. Mossberg, Stanfield Outfitters, Double T British Kennels, Ducks Unlimited, Lucky Duck, Looking Glass Podcast, Shin Gear, Dirty Duck Coffee, Dive Bomb Industries, Pacific Calls, Boss Shot Shells, and MLR Graphics.